Hi everyone. This video, I'm going to cover CISN51 lab, week number 1 on this DB, create Cisco packet tracer account and access the MonSec Horizon. If we click that, we see the detail. We have 2 activities. One is to use the Cisco packet tracer and paste a screenshot with one PC pinging a server in the packet tracer. And the other one is using the MonSec Horizon client, remotely sign on and use the virtual image to do very similar work in the real network. Let's do the first one first. I have also loaded packet tracer in those VMware Horizon client. So I'm going to show you how to run the packet tracer without you creating a Cisco account and download it to your personal PC or Mac to run the packet tracer. So if you have the VMware Horizon client loaded on your system, you will double click that and you will see the packet tracer, the VMware Horizon client show up, and you can double click that and log in with your portal password. I have a video in the CISN51. You should watch that for how to access MonSec VM through the VMware Horizon client. So this is your portal username and password. Once you log in, then you will see something like this. And if you see different username there, then you're going to say other users, okay? And then you will say student, S-T-U-D-E-N-T, as a username, no password. And once sign in, you will see the VMware Workstation Pro on the desktop. And that's what we are going to use to run our packet tracer and to do all of the exercises. For this particular course, if you sign on to VMware Horizon Client, you are going to use the packet tracer in either the CIS, in either the Windows 16 or the Windows 19 server. I put the older version, the 7.3 packet tracer in the Windows Server 2016. And I loaded the 8.2 packet tracer into the 2019. And both accounts already log in. And with the account being signed on, you don't need to provide username and password. If you download the file to your home PC, then you do have to do that. Okay, so there's some there's some message to tell you if you are not active, then you will be signed off. So you're going to say OK here and don't click the X mark here. It will just disconnect you. So you're going to say OK. Then that's just to remind you, you can walk away for more than 30 minutes. Now, once you are in this machine in a CISN classes, then you will highlight it, VMware Workstation Pro, right-click, and then you say Open. You can double-click, but sometimes it's a little bit slow, so you may open it many times. That's not going to be too good. So let's do a 2019 and use the newer packet tracer. So if we click on the Windows 2019 here, and then wait a little bit, And you will see power, and let's say, hey, we'll start a guest, and you will say, I moved it. And let's also power on 2016, even though the exercise in the DB, I didn't ask you to do that. So we are going to power on also. Start the guest of 2016. You also say, I moved it. And if you watch the video in CISN51, as I explained the topology here, you can turn on this firewall to send you inside network host, which is the Windows 2012. We can power it on first. This Windows 2012. Let's start a guest. This is on the inside. It will go through any one of these firewall to send you out. You can use either pfSense or we can use the ASAV with no VPN, but most likely I would like you to use, most of the time, let's use pfSense net, because every insight already been translated out through the pfSense net. So we are going to power on this pfSense net and right-click and say power. Let's start the guest. And you also say, I moved it. And in the topology, the other video I mentioned the introduction for this topology in CISN51, it will tell you that the whole thing, if we want to connect to the internet, then you have to highlight the internet firewall and power it on. We'll power it on later. Okay, so let's just power on this 1, 2, 3, and 4 machine for now. Now, when you power on this Windows 2016, you can click here to log in. And the password is always change me. And make sure that you put the focus here. And we may as well just log on to here as well to save some time. And then 2012 R2. All right, now let's go to not a problem. We don't need a server manager. Let's take a look at 2016 and right click, and you can go to the command prompt really quick and do an IP config. And you can see that, hey, ignore the IPv6 for now. We have 10.10.10.16 because it's 2016. And the default gateway is 10.10.10.10. The default gateway 10.10.10.10 is actually this server box. This one is 10.10.10. You can see the outside is 10.10.10.53. Okay. So outside boxes, the default gateway is actually this internet firewall, which is 10.10.10.10. Right. And all the inside here is going to use the default gateway of the firewall. So in the 2012, if we also go to the command prompt and you do an IP config, you can see that it's 10.01.12. So 10.01 is on the inside network and a default gateway to the pfSense 10.0.1.1. So therefore, the Windows 2012 is going to go through this pfSense net and goes through this internet firewall to the internet. Okay. So let's take a look at the 2016 first. Now, once we are in the 2016, and you can see that it actually is indeed 10.10.10 in the outside network. And it's not in the exercise, but just want to show you that one and with the packet tracer. So we can do the packet tracer in here. So if you click the packet tracer, it's already been activated, already been logged in. So you can actually do your exercise in here. So for instances, if you wanted to finish the first, let me show you that. First one is to follow the instruction to create one PC pinging one server in the package tracer. So let's do that. So let's take a look at that. In here, and you can see this is the PC icon on the second one, or the device icon. You can put your mouse on top. It will say this is the end device, right? And you put that, it's actually a network device, so on and so forth. So let's look at this end user device. The end device, drag a PC, put it in there, highlight a server, highlight it, and left click the mouse and drag it over there. So we got two machines here. We need to connect them to ping each other. So that's a very basic exercise to get you familiar, get you started with the packet tracer. And this, if you click that, it tells you it's the connection, okay? So connection, we have so many different cables. If you want to do a PC to a PC, end device to end device, nowadays you can just use the straight cable. So if you move this one, it tells you on here is a copper straight through. It will work. But in the traditional way, if you have the older NIC card, you have to do a crossover. So that's why it tells you that, hey, it is actually a crossover cable. So we can do a crossover. Click here, click there, and then select Fast Ethernet. And then you will highlight your mouse over to the server and left click again, and you select your Fast Ethernet. Oh, it turns green right away. If you choose different cable, like this one or any other one will work. You can choose the magic one if you don't want to even put any thought to it. They will make the correct selection for you. So now let's complete this exercise quickly. You can just go here, double click that, or just single click. And then you can see that go to the config. And then you will see that interface. If you click that, it will hide it. So if you want to look at the interface, it has those two interface here. The global setting here tells you if you have a default gateway, which we have other exercises that we will have to select default gateway and DNS server. But in this exercise, we don't need to. We just need to set up the interface address. The Ethernet here, we'll click on Fast Ethernet. And well, let's get to the 10.0.1 as the internal network IP address that we use in a lot of our exercise. So we can say this is 10.0.1.2. And subnet mask, we can say it's 255.255.255.0. Make it like a Class C network. So 10.0.1 is the network, and 2 is the host. We will have a few chapters talk about this subnet concept a lot. So for now, you just remember, if you see 255.255.255 here, that means the first 3 bytes of the IP, which is 10.0.1, is the network. And you see a subnet mask is 0, then the corresponding byte on the IP address, that's the host. So it's 10.0.1 network with the host ID number 2 there. That's pretty much it for the setup, and we can actually get out. And of course, you can highlight it and you can change this one and say, hey, this one is 10.0.1.2. So that make it easier for you to have the visual. And we can say, hey, server, we can do 10.0.1.1. So we have the same 10.0.1 network, host ID 1, host ID 2. So we click here again and go to the config, and we'll go to the Fast Ethernet on the interface here under the interface. If it doesn't show up, you just go and click the interface, the Ethernet will show up. And if you click that, the IP address, then you just say, hey, it's 10.0.1.1. And subnet mask, well, you can just highlight here, and you say 255. I just like to type it in. That's much faster. 255.0. Okay. So that's pretty much it. 10.0.1.1 and 255.255.255.0. You exit it out. And so it's ready. We already finished the configuration from the PC. Then you will go to the desktop, and you have a terminal or you have a command prompt. So we're going to do command prompt. Come in here, And you can type in simple commands. Sophisticated command, it won't work, but the basic one, it will. It tells you that, hey, yeah, we configure this as 10.01.2, and it does show up in here. And then we didn't put in default gateways. Everything looks okay. And now from here, you can ping yourself, ping 10.01.2. Okay. And of course, you ping yourself, it worked. And then how about you ping your server? Your server is at 10.01.1. If you just hit enter, then yeah, it is in there. Okay. So that completes your exercise to show that you have successfully. So if we take a look at the discussion board, and you say, hey, follow the instruction. Here, I just put in this video. Otherwise, you have to figure out from the demonstration how to create those packet tracer devices and complete this discussion board. So if you follow this video, then you see I just completed the first one, paste a screenshot with one PC, which is 10.01.2. It's pinging the server 10.01.1 in the packet tracer here. Okay, so that's the first exercise. And what you will do is, once you have this up, and you be aware that, let me just reduce my, yeah, so you can see that this screen is my MONSEC CISN process machine. And this is my image of the 2016. That's with the preloaded packet tracer to complete this exercise. I need a screenshot of that. So in your host here, if we click on our host here, so put a focus, click on the taskbar. So your focus is on here. Then you can press your window key. Okay, press the window key, and then or you can click here, of course, and then you can type in snipping, SNI. Just type in snipping or SNI, it will show up. And we do a snipping tool here and move to the side, and I say, oh, new. I want a new one, so I can put it away, and I can actually just start it to drag this, highlight this on the left or right, whatever. My mouse has some small issues, so you can do this and then release. Okay. So now the screenshot has been copied into your snipping tool in your host in your home PC. So, and this is a screenshot that we did on the MONSEC VMware Windows 2016 with the packet tracer 7.3 in there. So now we need to paste it into our discussion board. So you can say reply. And what you want to do is you want to copy always. It's the requirement. Otherwise, you will have point deducted. So we're going to copy, and we're going to paste the question and hit enter. Well, of course, then the second one, it will be for this one, right? So may as well, since I'm going to do two, right? Copy. Let's do it. Control V here. All right, so we don't need anything anymore. We just go ahead and hit enter and delete that. Oops. All right, so now I need an image in here, and make sure that if it doesn't work here that well, you don't have to fight it. You can just go ahead and type it in. You can just say, hey, this is one, matching the number, and this one is two, or you can do it in a Word and then paste the whole thing in, whatever you want. But make sure you question number matching. Okay. Right. So here we need to paste that screenshot in there. So you highlight here, and then you just go here and say edit. You say copy. Well, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you have to actually save it as a JPEG and then move it in. So copy it. Oh, it doesn't work in there. So we have to actually save it and then import it in. So you're going to click File and you want to save it as, you can save it to anywhere you want. You can save it to, well, save it to download is fine. You can save it to download, and I like to save it as JPEG and make it smaller in size. And you can give it a more meaningful name. You say CISN51L DB1. Okay, and you can just save it. So once it's been saved, what you will do is then you will come in here. So you come in here, and then you are going to come in here and say, hey, I wanted to load a file into it. Upload an image. Okay. So click on upload image, and then so in your Windows File Explorer, right here. So you go to the download. Remember, we save it to the download, and this is the JPEG image. And you just drag it here and say copy it there. So it's inside there, and you can say, hey, give it some description. Say this is the version 1 in without PACK. Okay. So whatever the description you want to do, and then we'll submit it. Then bingo, we got this first exercise done. You can see that it's in pinging in there. Okay, so then after this, you can actually continue on, and just like other student already did that on their exercise to it. So this is how you complete the packet tracer. And then I'm going to complete the demonstration with the second one using a 2019 and 2012 to ping the internet Google 8.8.8.8. So let's go back. And we can move this to the side. We are going to click on 2019 then. So go to 2019, and we probably have to log in again. Oh, yeah, it's okay. So we don't have to. It's still here, and we can exit it out of here. And this one, I put it on a desktop, so you can easily access it. You can do an IP config, and you can see this 10.10.219, because it's Windows 2019, and it's on 10.10.10.10, right? So 10.10.10 default gateway is this guy. So you have to highlight here, right click, and then you say power, start a guest, okay? And you say I moved it. Because this is, you will see the default gateway is set it to 10.10.10.10 here. And then the other interface of this firewall will go through MouseSec and go to the internet. So in order to go to the internet, you must turn on the internet FW in here. All right, so while it's booting, then we can actually take a look at Windows 2012 R2 here. So in the R2 here, we can actually try to ping. Click on that, 2012 R2. Yeah, it's already locked. You just go and sign in again, CHANGEME. Now in here, you are at 10.01.12. So you can PING and whoops, n.0.1.1, which is your default gateway. And then you're going to ping the 2019, which I just show you the IP address is 10.0. Oh, sorry, 10.10, the 10.219. Okay, so yeah, it's working. So this one actually can go through this PSS net being translated out and ping the 2019, right? And the 2019, by this time, we already have the internet firewall up and see its default gateway is 10.10.10.10, right? And so from this Windows 2019, its default gateway is to 10.10.10.10. So if you want to ping Google 8888, then 219 is going to go through the internet firewall and go to the Google 8888. So we can ping 8.8.8.8. And yeah, sure enough, it's working. Now from Windows 2012, that we just go through this pfSense net, be able to jump from the 10.0.1 internet network, go through this firewall, inside interface, and go to the outside to ping the 10.10.10.219. And of course, if we want to ping Google 8888, what it will do is it will send it to the default gateway pfSense net. And then from the pfSense net, it's going to be forwarded to the internet firewall and go to the Google. So you can see in here, if we ping 8.8.8.8, it should also work because it's going through the pfSense net and then goes through the internet firewall and then reaching the internet, eventually ping the Google 8.8.8.8. So, and this, it also completes our discussion board here. So we will ask you paste a screenshot of 2012 R2 and 219 being able to ping the 8.8.8.8. So you can do two screenshots or just combine it, do whatever you want. But make sure that you copy the question on top with the screenshot, with the clear readable screenshot there. And then here it tells you that we need to turn on internet firewall and only the ASA, either the 53 or the pfSense net. What would the result be if we turn on both of those? Both systems, well, both of them, the inside IP is 10.0.1.1. So then if you take a look at this topology here, if we power on this one, and you can see that this one, the inside is 10.0.1.1. And this ASAV, if we turn it on, it's also using 10.0.1.1. So we have an address conflict. Then the 2012 from inside, they want to go to internet or go pass through this E4 10.0.1 network. It has to go through the server here or the firewall here. Either goes to pfSense net or ASAV. But in this case, if we turn on both, the 10.0.1.1 has an IP address conflict, then it will fail. Okay. So instead of turn it on and go through the detail, I will leave that as your choice. Now we are going to continue on with this discussion, how to fix if there's a problem accessing the internet after you turn in both of the devices. Well, then you have to shut down one device, all right? When you shut down one device in here, what you will do is you can see that in your 2012 here, if you say ARP, the address, the MAC address cache table, you can see you have a 10.0.1.1 and its cache is the 3844. Just remember this is a hardware physical address. So from here, you will use the 3844, this MAC address, as the layer 2 information, and then forward your request to other networks through the pfSense net. And the pfSense net, its MAC address is actually with a 44 at the end in here. If you want to check, you can actually open the command prompt and verify that it is the case. So if we power on both and it got messed up, what we can do is in here, we can actually do an ARP-D to delete it. And then so once you delete that, you will see that your MAC address cache of the default gateway is gone. So once you shut this one down, once you shut one of them down, if you power on two of them and it failed to go to the internet, then you shut one of them down or the other one down, it still doesn't work, then you just go ahead and clear your ARP address table. Then it's going to refresh it with the new default gateway's MAC address. Then it will work again. Okay, so that will be your first test run of this of this particular discussion board. Okay, so if you still have questions, feel free to come to the meeting on Friday. Or whatever our my Zoom office hour, or the physical on-campus in-person meeting may or may not be on Friday. Okay.